Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Lepakshi Khurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Tuesday, the 21st of February. Yet another terror attack in Pakistan, 5 killed. US delegation meets Indian Prime Minister Modi in New Delhi, holds talks on range of issues. And first in 20 years, Nepal set to hold local elections in May. And now for all the details. 3 suicide bombers attacked a court complex in Pakistan's northwestern Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, killing 5 and injuring more than a dozen.
Suicide bombers attack a court complex in Pakistan on Tuesday, killing 5 people and wounding 20, police officials said, the latest incident in a new surge of Islamist violence. All 3 of the attackers were carrying hand grenades and AK-47 assault rifles, said Ijaz Khan, the police chief of the northwestern Khyber Pakhtunkhwa's Charsada district. One attacker blew himself up outside the court while 2 were killed by policemen before they could enter the building. A spokesman for the Jamaat-ur-Ahrar, a faction of the Pakistani Taliban, claimed responsibility for the attack in a statement emailed to media. Last week, the militant faction released a video announcing a new campaign of attacks against the government, including the judiciary, police and the army. The attack comes as security has been heightened across the province and the country after the recent wave of terror. The deadliest of the last week's attacks was on a famous Sufi Muslim shrine in the southern province of Sindh and was claimed by the Islamic State.
Meanwhile, Kabul is said to have handed Islamabad the list of terrorist sanctuaries in Pakistani soil being used by the militants. Tension between the two countries has been brewing following a wave of terror attacks in Pakistan last week.
The Afghan Foreign Ministry said that a comprehensive list consisting of 32 sanctuaries in Pakistan used by the Haqqani network terror groups have been handed to Islamabad. The list also includes the names of 82 Taliban Haqqani terrorist network and other terror groups' leaders operating against Afghanistan using the Pakistani soil. Afghan authorities said that they now expect Pakistan to take swift action against the terrorists. This comes as Pakistan last week gave Kabul a list of 76 terrorists wanted by Pakistan Army, asking Afghanistan to take immediate action against them. Diplomatic relations between Pakistan and Afghanistan dealt a further blow following a series of terror attacks in Pakistan last week. Islamabad alleges that the attacks were carried out by militants from Afghanistan and responded by missile attacks along the Afghan border.
Baloch and Sindhi leaders staged a demonstration in London to protest against the construction of the China-Pakistan economic corridor. They also demanded for a free Baloch nation.
Baloch and Sindhi leaders held a joint protest against the construction of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, or the CPEC project, outside the Chinese embassy in London. Political activists and leaders took part in the demonstration and shouted slogans for the freedom of Balochistan from Pakistani rule. People of Pakistan's southwest Balochistan province have claimed that thousands have been displaced to accommodate an array of projects under the CPEC without any proper plan of rehabilitation or compensation. The multi-billion-dollar mega power project is being dubbed as a game changer by the Pakistani establishment, while the locals disagree. With no representation in the project, locals allege they have not benefited from it and their rights have been undermined.
As elections are underway in India's northern province of Uttar Pradesh, political parties are indulging in grand show of strength. On Tuesday, Bharatiya Janata Party and the Congress-Samajwadi Party alliance held roadshows campaigning for the provincial elections.
The city of Allahabad in India's northern Uttar Pradesh province turned into a sea of humanity as supporters in large numbers took to streets to support their respective parties. On the last day of campaigning for the fourth phase, Bharatiya Janata Party or the BJP president Amit Shah held a roadshow in the city amid a wave of cheering supporters. One of the key players, the BJP, is making an attempt to dethrone the ruling Samajwadi Party by taking jibes at Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav. On the other hand, the rival joint roadshow by Congress-Samajwadi Party alliance held by Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi and Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav in the city was no less in show of force. The ruling Samajwadi Party joined forces with the Congress Party to retain power in the province. Uttar Pradesh, which is one of the largest provinces of India with a high population, is a crucial battleground for political parties. While the BJP wants to win the province as a part of its campaign to extend its foothold across the country, the rival Congress Party, Samajwadi Party and Bahujan Samaj Party are playing to their might to not let this pass.
The US congressional delegation on Tuesday met Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi. The meeting is a significant one as it follows after the US President Donald Trump proposed changes in the H-1B visa routes.
Prime Minister Modi during the meeting recalled his positive conversation with President Trump and the shared commitment to further strengthen India-US ties. He also recognized the US Congress' strong bipartisan support for India-US partnership and shared his perspective on areas where both India and USA can work even more closely. The visit of the delegation comprises of 26 lawmakers come as New Delhi expresses concern in the wake of proposed changes in H-1B visa rules by Trump. India previously said that proposed changes was likely to negatively impact the country's $150 billion information technology sector. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Modi also met Microsoft's chief executive Satya Nadella in New Delhi and discussed issue of mutual interest. Nadella's meeting with the Prime Minister comes a day after he announced Microsoft Corporation's strategic cloud partnership with India's biggest e-commerce firm, Flipkart.
Women and children are the most vulnerable ones in war-racked conservative Afghanistan. Despite numerous challenges, women struggle against culture and join police forces. They now also serve in the ranks of the special units of police facing odds.
With several operations going on against terrorists and criminals in Afghanistan, women police in the country are equally contributing in fighting the anti-state elements. The commander of special units of the Afghan National Police or ANP said that his forces have carried out more than 2,500 operations against terrorists and criminals in past 6 months, and the special forces include women.
اوناس داریم تشکیلات کافی هست و جلب و جذبم به حد کافی است که خیلی علاقمند است از طبقه اوناس میان به قطاعات خاص و این یک به شکل نمادین و سمبولیک نیست شکل واقعی هست.
Several female snipers are also serving in the ranks of the special units of police and carry out joint nighttime military operations with their male counterparts.
سرتیم طبقه اوناس کار میکنم به دخترها در وظایف عملیاتی روان میکنم و خودم همچنان اشتراک میکنم وظایفی که ثقیل باشه.
Despite being described as one of the most dangerous countries for women, they take the job as a challenge, setting examples for the younger generations.
Nepal government has announced that it will hold local elections in May. This comes despite the Madhesi party's agitation against the proposed polls.
Nepal will hold its first local elections in 2 decades in May, the government has announced, marking a key moment in the country's transition into democracy. The elections will be held in a single phase on May 14th across the country, paving way for provincial and national elections later in the year. The ruling alliance consisting of Communist Party of Nepal, Maoist Centre and Nepali Congress decided not to wait for consensus of the agitating Madhesi parties over poll dates. The Madhesi parties had been saying that they would not take part in the elections if the constitution is not amended first. After the date of elections was announced late on Monday by the Pushp Kamal Dahal-led government, the United Democratic Madhesi Front, a coalition of ethnic and minority parties, threatened to walk out of the government. Madhesi parties have maintained that it would take part in the elections only after the amendment of the constitution, which they say underrepresents them at the ballot box and in the national parliament.
Parts of northern India received a heavy rainfall, causing sudden dip in the temperature. People were seen wrapped in layers of clothing and taking shelter near the bonfires.
People in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province have brought their heavy woolens out due to a sudden dip in temperature. Poonch district of the province has been witnessing heavy rain for the past 3 days, resulting in a cold wave-like condition. People were seen huddled around bonfires and sipping hot tea to beat the cold.
जो है कड़ाके की जो है सर्दी लगातार आज दूसरे दिन भी पड़ रही है। 2-3 दिन पहले ऐसा हुआ था कि धूप लगातार वो धूप निकल गई थी, मौसम में चेंजिंग आ गई थी, लेकिन आज 2 दिन से लगातार जो है वो सर्दी जो है वो बढ़ गई है, तो इसलिए आग जला के हम जो है गुजारा कर रहे हैं।
Similar conditions prevailed in northern hill town of Shimla that was lashed by a thunderstorm. Locals expressed happiness as they expected ample rain and snowfall to yield a good harvest for a largely agrarian province of Himachal Pradesh.
Indian traditional wares were displayed at a fashion event in Mumbai. Prominent Bollywood celebrities walked down the ramp at the glitzy show. Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. Yet another terror attack in Pakistan, 5 killed. US delegation meets Indian Prime Minister Modi in New Delhi, holds talks on range of issues. And first in 20 years, Nepal set to hold local elections in May. Now viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. Well, that's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.